Hi there, Gemini. Thank you for joining me for your weekly forecast. For week commencing the 3rd of February, your values are under the astral microscope, particularly in the first half of this week. Of course, we've had a repeat recently of Jupiter's opposition with Venus, which has perhaps given you a desire to connect with something that gives you pleasures, but unfortunately maybe the pleasures have been rather beyond your budget, or you've been spending money in a vain hope to cheer yourself up from some deeper malaise that perhaps you're not looking at. And the square of Uranus that's going on between Jupiter, which is going to broadly last for the whole of this month, it's going to be exact the second half of February, suggests that maybe you need to challenge yourself, or it could be a friend who's going to be more outspoken in perhaps checking some of the things that you're doing. And if it's a weight issue that you've got, or anything to do with resisting calorific goodies, then perhaps a friend's support and honesty can be a really positive thing. Now, the Sun is also forging a grand link to Venus all this week, which suggests that if you can be imaginative and open-minded in a career or financial context and think long-term, then something good could evolve, particularly around a relationship that can help you longer term. So it may be a case of resisting something you want in the here and now and thinking beyond this. And that, of course, is going to take a certain amount of self-discipline and willpower, but I think you can find it. Now, the other big influence this week that's going on concerns your ruling planet of Mercury. Of course, it's moved now to the top of your scope, your midheaven, your solar midheaven, and it's going to be combining with Neptune this week. But also, from Thursday, it starts the first of its 3 annual retrogrades. Now, as you probably know, better than any other zodiac sign bar perhaps Virgos, who are also influenced by Mercury, that this can lead to some stops and starts. And the area that's being influenced for you is around your career. But let's think about this positively. Mercury's retrograde often asks us to look at something that's not working very well, whether it's a vehicle that needs servicing, a piece of equipment that's a bit on the way out and may need replacing, or if we're resistant to learning new skills in this part of a situation. So you have a chance to train here, or to get to grips with something that's not working quite as you want. And I think Neptune can be very inspirational for you if you're open to its influence. On the downside, Neptune can be very confusing, or you may interact with someone who may not be very clear. In fact, they could be darn right dishonest. And if you are waiting to hear about news on a job application, then there could be some frustrations over the next few weeks. Now, in fact, Mercury is only going to be a retrograde in Pisces for a short period. By the middle of the month, it is going to revert back into Aquarius, which actually will be pretty good for you. And of course, with the Sun still in Aquarius, your sister air sign, this is asking you to be more explorative at the moment, more adventurous, and invest in your individuality, things that often you're pretty good at anyway. But there is a quarter moon on Thursday, which suggests that something can go on that you could turn into a bit of a drama. And just watch your reaction to any event that does emerge at that time, because I think you do need to try to stay very level-headed. By the very end of the week, the Sun's going to be squaring up with Saturn. Now, this can be quite a tricky influence and quite repressive, but it may be just a reminder that if you are trying to break away from any cloying restrictions or obligations, then not all of them can just be dropped just like that. And someone may remind you in a very firm manner that you still have to turn up at work at time, you still have to turn up and be reliable around your friendships and obligations. And maybe you'll be fine with this, but certainly try not to exaggerate the importance of one little issue that could be quite niggly in the second half of this week, because it could be down to a misunderstanding with Mercury playing its tricks. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.